Kellogg's Pep, the super delicious cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Claiming that he could transform a human being into an atomic monster who would be able to control the world, a brilliant but unscrupulous Nazi scientist known as Der Teufel injected a solution of kryptonite into the veins of a young German named Heinrich Milch. Wearing meshed gloves and a tiny converter at his throat, Milch, in a test, lifted his hands, and a violent explosion ensued which uprooted giant trees and tore a huge canyon-like hole in the Black Forest. Telling the awed youth that his first task was to conquer Superman, Teufel ordered him to go to America, where he had been educated, and under the name of Henry Miller, secure a position on the Metropolis Daily Planet, which was said to have contact with Superman. Meanwhile, having been unable to find Teufel in Germany, Superman has returned to Metropolis, and as we continue now, he is entering the laboratory of Dr. James Millison, a famous American scientist. Listen.
Clark Kent said you wanted to see me, Doctor.
Yes, Superman. Come in and sit down.
Can't we talk right here?
If you're worried about the sliver of kryptonite...
Frankly, I am. As you know, I can't come within 10 feet of it without losing my strength.
Well, you're quite safe in this laboratory. The sliver was destroyed. Come to my desk.
Destroyed?
Yes, in a final effort to discover the cause for its strange effect on you, I placed it in the cyclotron and bombarded it with atoms. Here we are. Sit down.
Thank you. Well, don't keep me in suspense, Doctor. Were you able to find a defense for me against the kryptonite?
I'm sorry to say I wasn't.
Oh.
I did my best, believe me.
Yes, I'm sure you did.
I tried everything, every method known to science, and all the knowledge of electronics developed during the war. I even called in 3 of my colleagues, the leaders in the fields of chemistry and biology and atomics.
They couldn't help either?
No. You see, your problem is most unique. It's without precedent. You can withstand the most intense power known to man, and yet you're vulnerable to the kryptonite in its stable state. That is, before its atomic structure is disturbed.
Yes, why is that?
That's the crux of the problem, which we can't discover. I can only guess at the answer. You were born on Krypton, where the radioactivity of the planet's elements gave you your amazing powers.
Yes?
But here in the atmosphere of Earth, the chemical structure of your body must react in the opposite way to the fragment of kryptonite and make you weak. I can't tell you why that chemical change takes place.
Well, can't you find out? I mean, perhaps some element or vitamin in my system breaks down. If we found out what it was and I absorbed a great quantity of it...
I thought of that. I even considered exposing you to the tiny piece of kryptonite I had, and then subjecting you to a blood test. And then I remembered your skin was impenetrable.
Yes, that's so. Doctor, something must be done. Der Teufel has a piece of that kryptonite. We traced him to Germany, but he disappeared there. Now, I know he intends to use it against me and then against the rest of the world.
Tell me, how large is the piece of kryptonite Teufel has?
Oh, roughly about the size of that paperweight on your desk.
Uh-huh. Not very large, but the stuff is amazingly pure. You wouldn't need much of it for a bomb powerful enough to destroy all of Metropolis.
What?
But it's impossible. He'd need a huge factory, and the occupation forces now control all the factories in Germany.
But suppose he doesn't intend to make bombs. Teufel told a henchman of his that he intends to create an atom man with the kryptonite.
Oh, what?
An atom man. Some kind of monster he said would be able to control me and enslave the rest of the world.
What in thunder did he mean by that?
I don't know, I'm sure, but I'm worried. Teufel is a brilliant scientist.
I know he is. He won prizes in science twice before the war, and we know he's the man responsible for the rocket bombs the Nazis used. But an atom man, I can't imagine what he meant.
No, I can't either. Unless...
Unless what?
Unless he had some mad idea. Doctor, would you say it was possible to somehow incorporate the kryptonite in a man's body?
Good heavens, no. The stuff would probably kill him, and
You
besides...
said it was very pure.
Yes, as a matter of fact, it contains practically no impurity.
Well?
That's another amazing thing about it. But introducing it into a man's body, why, even if it could be done and the man lived, what would be accomplished?
If Teufel discovered a way of harnessing and then loosing the tremendous atomic power you say there is in the kryptonite, while it was in a human body, well, he'd have his atom man, wouldn't he?
Not even Teufel is that clever. Forget such a fantastic possibility, Superman.
Would you say it was impossible?
In science, we rarely say anything is impossible. But I'll go so far as to assure you that such an atom man is practically impossible.
Well, that's a relief. Now, if only there was some defense for me against the kryptonite. I know that Teufel has some plan up his sleeve, and apparently its success depends on getting me out of the way.
As I told you, I haven't been able to invent a defense against it. But I'm working on something now which may help you.
You are? What's that?
A detector.
Detector?
Yes, we were able to measure the humming sound the kryptonite makes and its gamma rays. Using a radar principle, we're completing a detector now which will warn you of the presence of the kryptonite while it's still some distance away.
How far away?
Well, that can't be determined accurately. It'll depend on the quantity of the stuff, whether or not it's subdued by other elements, and so on. But the detector will certainly register its approach within 100 yards.
Well, that'll give me a fighting chance, at least. I won't be taken by surprise. When will this detector be ready, Doctor?
Late today, I hope.
Oh?
2 of my assistants are working on it now. Would you like to see how they're progressing?
I certainly would. It might make the difference between life and death to me.
Come with me.
Thank you.
There's a small laboratory behind that steel door where I do my most important work.
Oh?
Here we are. In just a moment, this door's always locked. Come in.
Thanks.
This way. Those 2 men across the room are working on the detector. I'll bet they jump a foot when they see Superman in person.
As Superman and Dr. Millicent enter the private laboratory, an angry scene is taking place in Perry White's office at the Metropolis Daily Planet. Seated at his desk, the gray-haired editor scowls furiously at Jimmy Olsen, the freckle-faced cub reporter.
And you say Kent just walked out of the office again, Olson?
Well, he didn't walk, he ran.
And he didn't say where he was going?
No, sir. He got a phone call, grabbed his hat, and beat it.
Did he say when he'd be back?
No, he didn't.
Well, how do you like that? Whenever Mr. Kent gets a notion he wants a vacation, which has been happening practically every day recently, he just takes it.
Oh, I don't think he went on any vacation, Chief. I mean, Mr. White.
You don't think? You know where he went?
No, but
You know where he disappeared to yesterday?
No.
Or the day before that?
No, but
Or
I
the
said-
day before that, and the 3 days before that?
No, but I...
Well, neither do I. Neither does Lois. Neither does anybody except Kent himself, and he's not talking.
Well, I'm sure it must be something important.
Something important? Something too important to tell me, his editor? The poor fish who pays his salary? What am I around here anyway? The office boy? I mean the office boy? I mean the office boy?
Now, take it easy, Chief. You'll blow a gasket.
It's my gasket, and I'll blow it if I want to. I'll blow 1,000,000 of them.
But your blood pressure...
Hey, it's my blood pressure, too. Olson, I put up with all I can stand from, can't I? I won't put up with any more. For years, I've stood for his disappearing whenever he felt like it, and then popping up again. But this is too much. This is the last straw.
But, Mr. White...
Ever since that piece of kryptonite was stolen from the museum a couple of weeks ago, Kent's hardly been in the office at all.
I'll bet that's what it is. Mr. Kent must be trying to find the kryptonite. He said Superman was in great danger from it.
Superman in danger? Well, of all the poppycock. If that's what Kent's wasting the Daily Planet's good money on, it's time he learned a lesson. Yes, sir, he needs a lesson, and I'm going to teach it to him.
What do you mean?
Oh, what's that? Oh, the intercom. Well, what is it, Miss Blackrock?
There's a Mr. Henry Miller to see you, Mr. White.
Who?
Mr. Henry Miller.
Henry Miller. Henry Miller? Oh, who's he?
Henry Miller. Is this the young Nazi in whose blood runs the dread kryptonite? We'll return in a moment for the exciting climax to today's episode. In his office with Jimmy Olsen, Editor Perry White has just been informed by his secretary on the interoffice phone that a Mr. Henry Miller wishes to see him.
Henry Miller? Oh, who's he, Miss Backrack?
Oh, he's young and terribly good-looking, Mr.
Good-looking?
White.
Who asked you if he's good-looking?
Oh, boy.
Who is he, and what does he want?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. White. He's looking for a position.
Well, why bother me about it? Send him to Kinsey, the office manager.
Oh, but he's looking for a reporter's position, and you always interview reporters yourself.
Well, I'm not interviewing any today. I've got enough reporters. Too many, as a matter of fact, for my peace of mind. Send him away. Wait a minute. Did you say he was a reporter?
Yes, sir. Will you see him?
Huh. Will I? You bet I will. And if he's any kind of a reporter, I'll... Oh, send him in, Miss Backrack. Send him right in.
Yes, sir.
Oh, Olsen, this is rich.
Oh, what is?
This. It works out perfectly. I said I was going to teach Kent a lesson, didn't I?
Huh? Well, sure, but I don't get
Oh,
it.
you will, and so will Kent. He thinks that... Now, come in. Oh, come in, Miller. Come in. Glad to see you. Why, you may be just the man I'm looking for.
Cordially, Perry White invites the slim, blond young man into his office, unaware that he is facing the most dangerous man who ever lived. For this is Henry Miller, the German atomic monster created by Der Teufel to conquer Superman, and he is about to be hired as a reporter for the Daily Planet. What will happen? Don't miss tomorrow's thrill-packed episode when Superman meets what may be his master. Tune in, same time, same station, and listen to The Adventures of Superman.
Kellogg's Pep, the super delicious cereal, presents
The Adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
Making deadly use of a small piece of kryptonite, the strange green glowing metallic substance that robs Superman of all his strength and power, the half-crazed but brilliant Nazi scientist known as Der Teufel, the Devil, created a human monster he has called the Atom Man, in whose veins flows a solution of the kryptonite capable of developing enough atomic energy to destroy anything in its path, including Superman. Posing as Henry Miller, Heinrich Milch, the young American-educated Nazi who has been given this unlimited power, came to America under Teufel's orders, and at this very moment is applying for a job at the Daily Planet in order to make contact with Superman. As he enters Editor Perry White's office, he seems to be a normal young man, blond and Nordic-looking, but now speaking perfect English, all traces of his accent gone. Also missing, for the moment, are the metal mesh gloves and tiny electronic throat converter that transform him into the dread Atom Man. Listen.
Come in, Miller, come in.
Thank you, sir.
Close the door.
Oh, I better leave, Mr. White.
No, stick around, Olson. This is going to be fun. So, you'd like a reporter's job, eh?
I would if there's one open, sir.
Oh, there's one open, all right, and a very good one, too. Oh, incidentally, meet Jim Olson, one of our cubs.
How do you do, Mr. Olson? I'm glad to meet you.
Yes, there's a job open. I just lost my key man. Or maybe I should say he lost me. Now, Miller, what's your background? Who have you worked for?
Well, sir, I've been, overseas for a number of years.
Oh, returned vet, eh? Good. You boys deserve all the breaks. Yes, sir, there's not enough we can do for you. You hear that, Olson? A returned vet.
Yes, Mr. White.
Where'd you work before you went in, Miller?
Well, I spent a year on the Denver Clarion and 6 months on the Chicago Herald.
Two good papers. Anything special to do?
No, sir, just general reporting.
All right. You've got the job. $50 a week to start and a raise in a month if you come through. How's that sound?
Sounds fine, sir. I don't know how to thank...
Forget it. Any man who risked his life fighting for me deserves everything I can give him. Oh, Olson.
Yes, Chief?
But what did I tell you about that chief business? You know my name!
Yes, Chief. I mean, Mr. White.
Take Miller into Kent's office. Clear out Kent's desk.
Oh, you better not do that, Mr. White.
What did you say?
Mr. Kent won't like it. He's got a lot of private papers in his desk.
I don't care whether he's got a pink elephant and a family of pygmies. I said clear out his desk, and I mean clear it out. Now go ahead, before you get tossed out on your ear.
Yes, sir. Just follow me, Mr. Miller.
Okay. Good luck, Miller. Good luck. I'm sure you'll work out.
I hope so, sir. I'll try hard.
And tell Miss Blackrack Olson that if Kent does break his heart and come in, I don't want to see him.
Yes, Mr. White. Mr. White seems to have quite a temper. Yeah, but his bark is worse than his bite. I'll show you Mr. Kent's office, but if I were you, I wouldn't clear out the desk until Mr. Kent gets back. It's over this way. Who is this Kent fella? What does he do, go on 3-day drunks? Oh, are you kidding? Why, Kent wouldn't touch a drink with a 10-foot pole. He doesn't smoke either. He's the best reporter on the paper. The best in the country. Then how come he never shows up? Well, he shows up. Right now he's out on a big story, I guess. Here's his office. Not bad. I'm going to like this job. Well, don't be too sure. What do you mean? Well, Mr. White's okay, but he can run you ragged sometimes. I started here as a copy boy, and I know. You gotta be able to move as fast as Superman sometimes. Did you say Superman? Yeah, and that's no joke. No, Superman is hardly a joke. I understand that you have, some contact with him here at the Daily Planet. Well, who told you that? I don't remember now. Is it true? Well, sort of. Does he actually wear a blue costume and a red cape? Or haven't you ever seen him? Oh, I've seen him all right, plenty of times. Sure he does. How would you contact him if you needed him? Well, you better ask Miss Lane that question. Miss Lane? Mm-hmm, Lois Lane. She's our star girl reporter. I think you ought to meet her. She's in this next office.
Come in. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Miss Lane. I'd like you to meet Mr. Miller, a new reporter Mr. White just hired.
Well, welcome to the Daily Planet, Mr. Miller.
How do you do?
Jim, please close that door, will you?
Oh, sure.
The racket of those typewriters just about drives me crazy. Thanks, Jim. Well, so you've joined the ranks. Is that it, Mr. Miller? The Deadline Fraternity. Perry White's trained seals.
Is it as bad as all that?
No, not really. We take a beating, but we have a lot of fun. Right, Jim?
Huh? Oh, yeah, sure.
Well, what's eating you, James?
Oh, me?
Uh-huh.
Why, nothing.
Oh, now, come on. I know that down in the mouth, Olson look. What is it?
Mr. Miller is taking Mr. Kent's place.
Oh, that's fine. I'm off. What did you say?
Mr. Kent's been fired. Mr. Miller is taking his place.
Who said so?
The chief, Mr. White.
Oh, the chief. For a minute you had me worried. By this time, Jim, you ought to know better than to take the little Napoleon at his word. Both Clark and I have been fired at least 15 times in the last year.
Is that so? But this time it's for keeps.
Oh, nonsense, Jim.
I tell you, Miss Lane, this time Mr. White means it.
Don't worry, Jim. The minute Clark sticks his nose in that door, it'll be all...
What's going to happen the minute I stick my nose in the door?
Oh, Mr. Kent.
Hi, Jim.
Clark, you're in trouble. Meet Mr. Miller, the man who's taking your place on the paper. Clark? Clark, I'm talking to you. This is Mr. Miller. Clark!
Dazed, as though someone had suddenly cut him across the face with a whip, Clark Kent, almost a little frightened, feels a strange weakness creeping over him as the solution of kryptonite in Henry Miller's veins begins to take some effect, even without the metal mesh gloves and the electronic converter. This is the first meeting of the Atom Man and Superman, although neither is aware of the other's true identity. Something startling is bound to happen, so stay tuned in for the dramatic climax in a few moments. A strange scene is taking place in Lois Lane's office at the Daily Planet. Clark Kent, in reality Superman, is facing for the first time young Heinrich Milk, alias Henry Miller, in whose veins flows a solution of kryptonite that makes of him a deadly atom man. As Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen look on in bewilderment, Kent pales as he feels a strange weakness coming over him. Listen.
Clark, what's the matter with you?
I don't know, Lois.
Well, don't you feel well, Mr. Kent? Here, sit down.
I think perhaps I'd better leave. No, I'm sorry, Mr.
Miller, Clark.
I'm sorry, Mr. Miller, but
It's all right. I've got some unpacking to do anyway. I'll see you all later. Bye.
Bye. Now, Clark, what's the matter with you?
I don't know, Lois.
Well, you look simply ghastly. Where have you been the last few days?
Germany.
Germany? Jeepers.
Now, wait a minute. You left here on Monday, and today is Wednesday.
It's almost like the weakness the kryptonite gave me.
What's that?
What, did I say something? I'm sorry.
You said you were in Germany, Mr. Kent.
Well, I said that.
Clark, what in the name of heaven has come over you?
Nothing, Lois. Nothing, really.
Well, do you realize what's going on around you?
I don't understand you, Lois. I don't know what you're talking about.
Look, you better go in and see Perry White.
What for?
Well, for one thing, he's your employer, and every employer likes to see his employees once in a while. And for another thing, you've been fired.
What, again?
Well, this time it's serious, Mr. Kent.
Really, Jim?
Yeah, that's why Mr. White hired that Miller guy, to take your place.
What Miller guy?
Oh, good heavens. Clark, go right in to see the chief, will you?
Why?
Go ahead now. Open the door, Jim.
All right.
Well,
Go ahead, Clark.
all right, I'm going. You don't have to push. All the crazy things.
Close that door, Jim, will you?
What's wrong with him, Miss
I
Lane?
don't know, but it's serious, Jim. Which key connects with Mr. White's office on the intercom?
Number 3.
Yes? What is it?
Oh, it's Lois Lane, Chief. Clark Kent is coming into your office.
Oh, no, he's not.
Chief, now listen to me. There's something wrong with Clark.
You telling me?
I mean, seriously. Keep him in your office as long as you can. Now, don't let him go. I'll be in there soon. What's that number?
What number, Miss Lane?
I've got it here in my book somewhere. Let's see, wait a minute. I think it's right. Here it is. 3748. 3748. The chief keeps him there.
He sure didn't act right.
That's right. Hello? Mr. Grady, please. Well, he was completely irrational, Jim. It's the most incredible thing I've ever seen. Hello? Mr. Grady? Mr. Grady, I need your help. We have a reporter here at the Daily Planet who seems to have had a nervous breakdown. Yes, he's suddenly become completely irrational. Well, I'd like you to send for him immediately and take him out to your rest farm. Yes, you'll need at least 2 strong men, because I'm sure he won't consent to go along willingly once he learns...
Convinced that Clark Kent is in the process of losing his mind, Lois is making emergency arrangements to have him picked up and taken away for treatment, unaware that Kent's trouble is that he has unknowingly met up with his deadliest and most powerful enemy, the newly created Atom Man. Now, with 2 burly attendants on their way for Kent, the Atom Man's search for Superman and Superman's efforts to escape from the weakening effects of his one undefeatable enemy, the powerful atomic energy contained in kryptonite, takes a strange new twist. Will these 2 meet again, the Man of Steel and the Atom Man? When? Where? There's excitement ahead, excitement and spine-tingling suspense in this battle to the death, so don't miss a single thrilling word of it. Tune in tomorrow, same time, same station, and follow the adventures of Superman.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings at a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane.
It's Superman!
Fellows and girls, be sure to follow the adventures of Superman, brought to you every day, Monday through Friday, same time, same station, by the grand old Kellogg Company of Battle Creek. And for other thrilling adventures of Superman, see your local newspaper. Superman is also a copyrighted feature appearing in Superman DC Publications.